The killer whale, also known as the orca. These ocean-dwelling, massive dolphins have been quite a symbol in pop culture, such as being featured in big films like Free Willy and the controversial documentary Blackfish. However, the most recognizable orca symbol is Shamu, featured as SeaWorld's mascot. Orcas are one of the most smartest mammals to live on Earth. They are highly emotional, intelligent species, heavily relying on their echolocation and social hierarchies to survive. Unfortunately, there has been a shadow overcasting them both in wild and captivity. Orcas are an endangered species as of 2020, and putting them into captivity renders an orca to a horrible mental state in which they can cause massive destruction not only to themselves, but even other orcas and humans. Orcas can live up to around 50 to 80 years, averaging around the size of 23 to 32 feet, weighing up to almost 6 tons. That roughly translates to the size of an average bus. These highly inquisitive creatures have distinct noises they make within their pods which can be of different dialects to other pods, similar to languages. Orcas are apex predators, meaning they have no real actual predators. They hunt together in their pods containing up to 40 members. Resident pods tend to hunt more fish, meanwhile transient pods target marine mammals. All pods use effective cooperative hunting techniques that some like the behavior of wolf packs. Orca anatomy. While orcas share a lot of the same characteristics of dolphins, the orca has some unique features that are all its own, like its camouflage coloring. The orca is a countershaded, black on top and mostly white on the bottom. Looking down from above, the black on the dorsal side mixes with the dark ocean. Looking up from below, the white on the ventral side blends into the sunlit water. Other animals may not recognize a killer whale until it's too late. Male orcas have the largest dorsal fin of any marine mammal. It can get up to 6 feet tall. On females, it's a bit shorter and more curved. The dorsal fin acts like a keel, and each core dorsal fin is unique for each orca. The orca's pectoral fins are paddle-shaped. They're used for steering and work in conjunction with the fluke for stopping. Inside these appendages is a network of veins that help regulate body temperature. Orcas have excellent eyesight in and out of water. They have a well-developed sense of hearing as well. Unlike other cetaceans, orcas receive sound through receptors in their jawbones. The jawbone acts like a conduit, transmitting the sounds to the ear canal and auditory nerves. Orcas on average swim up to 40 miles per day. In captivity, this can be very stressful for the orcas, who are born with the same innate instinct to swim and dive far. Artificial enclosures in captivity cannot offer this kind of range to orcas, contributing to boredom and stress. Orcas have been seen to develop stereotypes, also known as zoochosis, repetitive patterns of activity that have no obvious function, which range from self-mutilation to rocking and swaying. In the wild, orcas live in tight-knit family groups that share a sophisticated, unique culture that is passed down through generations, research has shown. In captivity, orcas are kept in artificial social groups. Captive-born orcas are often transferred between facilities, breaking up social relationships. In 2013, the documentary film Blackfish laid the bare psychological toll of the captivity through the story of a wild-caught orca named Tilikum, who had killed 2 trainers at SeaWorld Orlando. This documentary gave a perspective to the audience showing how much damage captivity could do to an orca. More on the story of Tilikum the whale. Tilikum is the biggest whale ever known to captivity. He was captured on the coast of Iceland in 1983. About a year later, he was transferred to Sealand of the Pacific in Victoria, British Columbia. He was subsequently transferred in 1982 to SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida, after the death of a trainer, Katie Barnes, which Tilikum was involved in. Tilikum was responsible for 2 other deaths: Daniel Dukes, a man trespassing in SeaWorld Orlando, and the SeaWorld trainer Don Brancho. Tilikum was also used as a breeder for SeaWorld whales. He sired 21 calves. SeaWorld announced in March 2016 Tilikum's death was deteriorating, and it was thought he had a lung infection due to bacterial pneumonia, a common cause of death in captive and wild whales and dolphins. On January 6, 2017, SeaWorld announced that Tilikum had died early in the morning. The cause of death was reported as a bacterial infection. Despite all the incidents involving humans and orcas in captivity, there has been no actual fatal recorded attacks happening with orcas in the wild. The origin of the killer whale name varies. Orcas were given the name killer whale by ancient sailor observations of groups of orcas hunting and preying on larger whale species. They are called orcas Acina ballenas, or whale killer. Their Latin name, Orcas, or Sinus orca, also reflects this observation of orcas feeding on larger whales. Orcinus translates to the kingdom of the dead, and orca refers to a kind of whale. Orcas are in danger for multiple reasons, which I will be elaborating on. Lack of food and overfishing, habitat loss have decreased the amount of prey available to some killer whales. Without enough prey, killer whales might experience decreased reproductive rates and increased mortality rates. This threat is especially important for southern resident killer whales because some populations of the preferred prey, Chinook salmon, are also threatened or endangered. Contaminants enter ocean waters and sediments from any sources, such as wastewater treatment plants, sewer outfalls, and pesticide application. Once in the environment, these substances move up the food web and accumulate in top predators such as killer whales because of their long lifespan, position at the top of the food chain, and blubber stores. These contaminants can harm killer whales' immune and reproductive systems. Disturbance from vessel and sound. When vessels are present, killer whales hunt less and travel more. Noise interference from vessels, as well from any industrial or military activities, interrupts killer whales' ability to use sound, which in turn disturbs their feeding, communication, and orientation. Increased vessel noise causes the southern resident killer whales to call louder, expending more energy in the process. Orcas will always remain as one of the most inquisitive and important marine mammals to grace the planet. It would be a true loss if someday we would not have them here anymore. This only shows we need to change, not just with climate change, but with the exploitation of marine mammals as well for multiple reasons such as entertainment, sport, and human consumption.